Welcome everybody to the Turbo Hyper Fighting and Super HD Awesome Remix Multi Blah 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 Street Fighter 2. Shut up. Too many subtitles. Don't give a shit. Street Fighter 2. I'm calling it Street Fighter 2. I don't care what edition it is. It's Street Fighter 2. Turbo. Okay, I guess that's more. So you have your Turbo mode and your normal mode, which Turbo is you can adjust the speed of the games and go super cracked out if you're retarded like that. I'm not, so I play on normal because it's basic and that's what I like. So you have your one player, two player. We're going to one player for this. You have Ryu, Ihana, Blanca, Guile, Barlog, Balrog. I always say Barlog. I don't know why. Vega, M. Bison, Sagat, Falson, Zangief, Chun-Li, and my boy Ken. Man, I don't know. My brother used to always play as Ryu. Never let us play as Ryu. We hated playing guy versus guy. So I decided to pick Ken. And just because he was the same as Ryu, I have blonde hair, so kind of just always called myself Ken when I was little because I'm crazy. But very basic fighter. It wasn't overly violent like Mortal Kombat was, and that's kind of what caused the uprise of Mortal Kombat because it was either in the arcades you had Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat. Those are the biggest games out in the 90s. You either had Hadouken or Get Over Here, and it was just this giant rivalry. I was more Street Fighter. It was simpler to me. More the violence appealed to me in Mortal Kombat, but I was really terrible at it, and I still am, and that's fine. But I'll whip anyone's ass Street Fighter. Like, I know this is only the first guy, but I mean, I'll rape Zangief with his shit hair, faggot. Very technically sound game. I can't think of anything bad I would say about this, other than it gets a little repetitive, like all fighting games do after a while. Definitely something you have to play with a friend to really comprehend and enjoy and just get used to it. Little things between the cutscenes I always used to enjoy just because I wanted to see what he would say when they would win. But I eventually got so good I would only see Ken's phrase over and over and over again. The stages are great except for this one where the elephants constantly blast you in the ear with their I always muted the TV at this stage. For this review you're fucked because I don't really care. Nah, that's a little messed up. I apologize. But, yeah, there's a old tradition everyone used to play by in the arcades in the 90s where, if you threw somebody in Street Fighter, people called it cheap because people would spam it and never let it go. So there would be no throwing in the arcades. And if you threw, you actually had to take your hands off the arcade machine to prove that it was a mistake and let somebody get a free hit on you. So, yeah, throwing is a big no-no in Street Fighter if you're playing against, well, really, nobody really likes to be thrown all the time in fighting games. So my friends get mad at me all the time when I do it, but, it's a move, and if it's in the game, it's not that cheap. Not to say that there aren't some fighting games that do have cheap-ass things, but I don't throw that much. But when I do, my friends are like, oh, good, all you do is throw. And they're just mad because I whip their ass. See, Dalsim's throwing. It's fair. Yeah. And you gotta wonder about all the jet lag these guys have from going around the world entering this fighting tournament. Like, why do I have to come to them? Why can't they come to America and fight Ken, huh? Why do I gotta do all the work? Oh, look at Dalsim. All he does is... Oh, the flame. Everyone has their own special moves. Ryu and Ken are your generic fireball, spinny kick guys. Zangief's a wrestler. Chun-Li's your super fast Chinese girl. Really, it kind of just set, like, in fighting games that everyone had their own thing. It was, like, the first real series to, like, capitalize on that. And actually, Ryu's such a dick in this game. But yeah, there was the original Fighting Street. I've never played it. I don't plan to because I don't have a TurboGrafx 16 emulator. I don't have a TurboGrafx 16, and I heard it really just wasn't that good. Because they based the game around these pressurized pads, and your controller can't really pick up. It didn't have analog buttons like the PlayStation does back in the day, so I don't really know how it's going to read your moves, and I heard it takes forever to beat people. Forever if you do not know the moves. And some guys can only be killed with special moves, so you'll be sitting there for days trying to figure it out. I do not have any interest to play it. It wasn't as arcadey. The only two-player mode you had was Ryu vs. Ken, and they're pretty much the same people, so it got pretty boring pretty quick. But yeah, Street Fighter 2, definitely the first fighting game I've ever played. And I'll whip anyone's ass at it. Ryu's kind of a dick, because all he does is fucking Hadouken the whole game, and then he whips your ass. You could be playing if you ever get Ryu for a first character to fight, just keep resetting until you get something different. It'll totally turn you off to the game if you're not good at it. Yeah, I don't know why I always really like this stage. I couldn't really figure where you were. You're not like on a rooftop, but like there's other rooftops around you, but you're inside. Yeah, I could never really figure this one out. Unless Ryu just has some weird training thing that he does. So yeah, short review. Go pick up Street Fighter 2. Emulate it, download it. Street Fighter 4 Arcade just came out. If you have Super Street Fighter 4, I would just stick with that. If you have original Street Fighter 4, go for it. But that's not a review on this, so shut the hell up. So Street Fighter 2, buy it now. Buy.